All right, welcome everybody. I'll call our July meeting to order. We've got a couple of things. One thing we're going to add to the agenda will be item number 5. We'll move it from executive session as we're going to be reviewing the Memory Care Center's bond. There's some changes to that. And our bond counsel is here to explain that to us, and we'll let her do it in open session. So we'll add that to the agenda. Start off, if we can get approval of the minutes for June 21st. Our regular meeting, we had a call meeting between there, so we need to do the June 21st regular meeting and the July call meeting.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Financials report. The auditors are in the process of auditing the books, and we will again go through this next month. What I would like to approve again this month is the monthly report, monthly expenses, which will be in the second section here on page 4. And then hopefully, after the auditors are finished, we can go back to approving the balance sheet, the annual balance sheet, the P&L statement. But I've worked through most of the questions I've had, and we're waiting to see what the auditors come back with. If they come back and open up any questions that need to be answered. So we can get a motion to approve the monthly expense report.
Robert, can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you, I hate to take time, but would you explain to me the other current assets, all of these bonds that are due from the county? I don't understand what all those bonds are.
Okay. There are a series of bonds that were done in the past for the county. And I don't remember off the top of my head what all of these are. There was some sewer,
Well, I can interject there. There was sewer bond for the south side that is down almost on the Paulding Douglas Carroll line off of 61. There was bonding, a part of the bonding was for the county to take money and top all of the unfinished streets. I think it was before election year, about 3 years ago. And they finished up all the unfinished subdivision streets at that time. And then the other one is the water tank.
and the water tank and the hangar, and
Yeah.
the film studio bond are in there. But those bonds are on us. The other bonds were always to be paid back by the county. That was the agreement going in.
And the reason why they did that is because they did not have a bond rating and they did not have a large amount of capacity, in their opinion, at the time. So by asking the IBA to do the bonds, they were able to keep their assets free and to improve their bond rating when they went out for the big money on the, I think for the reservoir project.
So 1301 is sewer.
I'm not sure exactly
Yeah, I'm not sure
which
one's
ones are
which.
which,
Okay.
but those are just some of the things through the years they've used the bonds for, and it's always been at their request.
Well, I just wondered, I just wanted to explain to me because I didn't understand so many, but I think you understand now.
Yeah, the only two projects that I'm aware of that were IBA standalone projects were the water tank and the hangar and the film studio. The others were at the request of the county, and those were financed through the IBA, through our bond.
And then what is this installment sale receivable /
Is that the one, which one?
That's the very last one, 1330.
1330. The $480,000 one is, some of these items are broke out for, I can comment on that, but if bonds run through us, we get credits or payments or fees for actually cycling the bonds. And I think some of that is in that installment receivable account. And it may be the buyouts when the bonds are matured. That one I'm not sure of, and that's one of the ones that we're actually looking at the auditors to kind of tell us where that came from.
Okay, thank you.
Is that not the film studio?
I don't think so, no. No, I think the 6 million
I think that
is the film studio.
probably the 13 would be the film studio, wouldn't it? And 2011
Mhm.
would be the sewer, the airport.
There's no bond in there for sewer to the airport.
Okay, but what is
That
that
bond
6 million?
is
Is
by,
that
the bond for the sewer to the airport is the city of Dallas, on the building America bond. The county paid nothing, contributed nothing.
So the 6
Towards
million,
that.
is that the studio then?
I think, so, yeah.
Okay, all right, then the 3,750,000, Robert?
Right, I think the 2011 A is the water tank, and the 2011 B, if I remember right, is the film studio in the hangar.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
And I'll have a more definitive answer on what the 480 actually is, but I think it's a receivable back to us, and it may be on the maturity of these bonds. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Those things are complicated. The way they schedule out, and the way the interest are paid on them, and there's some
And
rebates.
each one is different.
And each one is different. So it's really complicated.
I appreciate the explanation, I just didn't understand it well.
Anything else? All right. I get a motion to approve the financials. Did we ever get one?
Motion to approve the finances.
Motion to approve. Good second.
Second.
Motion in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll get a quick report from Stacy on the status of the chamber.
Yes, sir. I want to thank the City of Hiram and Old Town Hiram Business Association for the partnership on our successful event that we had July 1st, which was our Red, White, and Boom. Coming up, we have August 3rd, U.S. Representative Tom Graves will be speaking at our Georgia Power Luncheon. I encourage you to make reservations now. That typically does sell out, so we're excited to have him come in again August 3rd for our luncheon. And then our next event will be our Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's a mouthful. Clay shoot, which will be August 12th. We have a beautiful facility we're using up at Garland Mountain, and we only have about 8 shooter spots left, and all sponsorships are sold. So if anybody's interested in coming out and having a beautiful Saturday shooting clays, just call somebody here at the office. They'll be happy to get you signed up.
And I would like to say for the City of Hiram, thank you. Never seen people work so hard. We appreciate everything.
Thank you, Stacy. I'm going to ask that Robert hold his off to the end, if you don't mind, and come back out to executive session. I don't have any, Chuck, give us, I don't think we have anything on the engineering report side. I didn't see anything this month, so I don't think we've done anything engineering-wise. They do continue to work towards the acceptance of the pumping station. That's still in the works, and there's been some work done on that, but I think it's primarily just paperwork that they're really doing that. All right, I would entertain a motion to go into executive session.
You're gonna do the bond.
I will move on, excuse me. Got motion, better change it, change it. All right, we've been requested by the bond company to approve a change to the bonds for the Memory Care Center, and these are surety bonds, is that correct?
They are, I don't know which, but I wouldn't call them surety bonds.
They're conduit bonds.
Conduit bonds, okay, that's the word I'm looking for. And we have someone from the bond council today, and she can explain to us what is going to happen, so I'll recognize her.
Good morning. My name is Lori Schwartz. I'm bond counsel at Butler Snow. Back in November 2015, the authority issued 2 series of bonds to support the Westminster Dallas project. The proceeds were loaned to Dallas Memory Care, and actually we have 2 representatives back here from Dallas Memory Care if you have any questions. They were the borrower of the bond proceeds. The bonds are payable solely from repayments made by the borrower to the bondholders. The borrower is requesting, the bondholder representative has consented to these, and so now we're asking the issuer to approve certain changes to the indenture and the lease purchase agreement. In substance, what the changes are a postponement of certain sinking fund payments for 2 years, as well as some changes to the way the flow of funds run through the accounts into the debt service reserve fund, into the operating account, with the intent being to free up some of the money that's currently in the accounts for more for operating expenses. Again, under the bond documents, the bondholder representative has consented to all of these changes. So that's, a good thing. The investor has already consented to this. So this is more of, under the documents, also requiring issuer consent before we make these changes for you to adopt and approve them as well.
Any questions?
Well, the memory care, they'll still be responsible for all the payments, and nothing will come back on the IBA other than just if you to redo the bonds. That's more
Yes.
suited.
So these are not general obligations of the authority. These are just simply what I would say conduit financing, which is that you have helped them through your tax exempt capabilities to issue bonds, but you're not on the hook for any repayment of these bonds, and none of these changes change that.
It's amazing to me all the different bonds, like the surety bond, and that's a new one on conduit bonds, I guess I got to sit down and just Google them up and read about them, because there's a lot of them.
These are non-recourse bonds. We've done several of these, and this is just one where the bondholder, they've entered into an agreement to make some changes, and of course they need the issuer's consent. So you'd just be doing a bond resolution to adopt the changes that have been outlined here today. It's basically that service fund, and I think there was one other substantive change.
Right.
Thank you.
And basically, all we need to vote today is for us to authorize those changes and authorize, me to sign the paper resolution, the resolution.
Okay, thank you very much.
I will entertain a motion that we adopt a resolution that approves these changes and that authorizes the chairman to execute the documents.
So moved.
Motion, a second.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, now I will entertain a motion to go to executive session.
Make a motion to go into executive session for purposes of continuing litigation, real estate, and personnel.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Re-enter regular session, and no action is taken during the executive.
Have a motion to re-enter regular session. Have a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Jumped my gun on there. I wasn't ready to sit down. Okay.
Saying you didn't get out of here.
Yeah,
Dragging around.
dragging around. I'm going to go back and make one correction. We voted to approve the minutes. We kind of combined that vote, and we need to vote on both of those separately. We've voted to approve the minutes from the June 21st, 2017 regular meeting. We need now to vote to approve the minutes for the July
Move to
12th.
approve the July
Call
12th call meeting minutes as printed.
Second.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Any,
Stacy abstained on that one.
David abstained because she's out. Okay.
I would like to make a motion to retain Robert Reynolds as Executive Director of the IBA, subject to negotiating the terms of his contract.
I have a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Any comments?
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn, we got a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Nay? Nay? You want to hang around?